Yeah. I've been on my grind just to live it out. Say what's on your mind just to hear it loud. Everybody knows me, really that's the old me. Going through some changes right here and now. I've been on my grind just to live it out. Say what's on your mind just to hear it loud. Everybody knows me, really that's the old me. Going through some changes.
We are live. We are motherfucking live. We are live. We are live. What's up, everybody tuning in? I appreciate you guys for visiting the show. I hope you guys stick around. Make sure, actually stick around. Stick around. It's going to be a great episode. Got a whole lot of shit to talk about in the next 30 minutes. So, go grab yourself a drink. Cheers. Go grab yourself a blunt. Whatever you need to go get comfortable, and jump in this bitch and get ready for the great conversation. All right, here we go. And we are back with another episode of the Dope Individuals Only podcast. Today, I'm the only dope individual, the dopest motherfucking individual. I'm in the building. And yeah, man, I got a great topic for you guys. Today, after the work day had ended, all the women in the job have got together to help one of the coworkers through their relationship problems. And it made me want to get on here and chop it up a little bit. Because the portion of the conversation that I got involved in is something that I think everybody needs to hear, especially for this generation that I'm a part of. You know what I mean? This generation of 20 to 30-year-olds where they're still trying to navigate their way through adulthood, trying to find love, trying to put down roots, and not necessarily knowing how to get it done. So I'm going to tell you from the man perspective of what the fuck gotta happen in order for a man to be ready to put a ring on it. So women, this is for y'all. So make sure y'all stick around because this is for y'all. Yes, baby. My wife is standing over there looking at me like she's about to burn a hole through my forehead. What? What you talking about? She's over here. Look, come over here. Come on, come over here in your moo-moo. In your moo. She got a moo-moo on right now, talking shit to me. All right, but listen, look, I'm not exposing no names, but this was a great conversation we had. I know y'all can't see her. She's right over here, but this was an excellent conversation we had. And these conversations should be had just a little bit more, in my opinion, because I think we can avoid a whole lot of shit in relationships and as a society and culture. So here we go. So first, I want to talk to today's generation of women. I was raised by nothing but women. I didn't have no dad growing up. I ain't meet that nigga till I was 14. By the time I was 19, 20 years old, our relationship was slim to nothing. So, you know what I mean? Even there was parts of when I got to meet him where I felt like I was the father. So all I had was women around me. And what I noticed is that the older generation of women knew how to take care of a man. And that's not a slight to women at all. You know what I mean? A lot of our parents grew up, a lot of our parents didn't date our fathers, you know what I mean? Or at least from my surroundings, had abusive men in the household. I know that was what my upbringing was like. It was a bunch of men who's coming in and out. Basically, these motherfuckers is hobos. They just lay dick and lay around. That's all they do. There was no real role model. But for years and years and years, I watched my mother take care of these niggas like they was her children. I watched her support these niggas, feed them, clothe them, fuck them, put a roof and lights over their head. Literally, these niggas were her children. You know what I mean? And that shit kind of left a sour taste in my mouth because I always imagined that this is what it looks like for a woman to take care of a man. But none of these niggas were deserving of it. So it made me, honestly, it made me angry and bitter in moments, especially because my mother was aiming so low. Now, get to this generation. Oh, I can't fast forward. And also, my mother was raised by my grandmother and her stepfather, which almost my mom's entire life, this was the man my grandmother was married to. And my grandmother was a old-fashioned woman, you know what I mean? She stayed home, she took care of the house, she cooked, she cleaned, she handled all that, and my grandfather went to work, and he held down the fort, and he was the security, financially and in a physical. So it was real traditional, but didn't matter what role they played. The respect was always very, very prevalent and present, and they understood their roles in their relationship. Today's generation of women don't necessarily know this, and I understand why, because as I said, my mother, you know what I mean, that entire generation of women only dealt with no good niggas. So all these women had to learn to be man and woman, had to learn to be provider and nurturer. And I got a lot of respect for women because nobody ever asked y'all to do both jobs and y'all step up to the plate. I give y'all hella fucking respect because men probably wouldn't do that in almost any situation. We're now just getting into a stage in society where you see men playing their role again. There was a whole 30-year span of men being absent, and it was a normal thing. My dad's in jail. My dad left his mom. My dad got how many kids spread across how many states or cities. That was a norm. Even I'm a product of that. I got two brothers on my dad's side and an older sister, and then on my mom's side I got an older sister and a younger brother. You know what I mean? So there was no family affair in the house. It was mom held down the fort, and that was that. And today's generation of women, the people that are my age, that 21 to 30-year-old bracket, are products of those households, of watching their mothers grind, watching their mothers work and be nurturing and hold down the fort and keep the fucking lights on and have to find a way to get childcare. They come from that, just as I come from that. But psychologically, what that does to a girl is, this is what it is. This is normal. This is acceptable. This is the new norm. And then this generation of women grow up and they meet niggas like me who want to be a part of their children's lives, want to be the man, want to be the provider, want to be, you know what I'm saying, everything that a man ideally is. You know what I'm saying? And then now you get these girls and these women who don't know how to take a back seat anymore because they had to be strong their entire lives. They watched their mothers be strong their entire lives. That's all they know. And they know how to be a man. They know how to at least to play the man's role, I should say. They know how to play the man's role. And I got a lot of respect for women for that, because not every man could play the woman's role. Not every man could be nurturing. But when you're talking about, I'm trying to get a relationship, find a man, put down some roots, and build a legacy, that shit is not going to work, especially when you meet a real man. When you meet a real man, that shit's not gonna fly. He's gonna be like, yo, I gotta do my part and you gotta play your role. We can't both be sitting here talking about who's gonna be head of household, who's gonna lead and who's gonna follow. You know what I mean? In some aspects, I do believe that you need to have things 50-50. But as far as when it comes to the real nitty gritty shit, yeah, you got to let the man be the man. Because if not, then you're going to have a man that's emasculated. You're going to have a man that's afraid to speak up for himself. You're going to have a man that feels like he got to walk around in his own house on eggshells because I got a woman that's just as headstrong as me. And I'm not saying that women should be weak. That's not what I'm saying at all. I think it takes a lot of communication, skillful communication, open communication, constant communication to make a relationship work, so that way everybody feels respected and what's the word I'm looking for? Everyone feels respected and appreciated. That shit, can you shout me out? Hey, what's up? Who's this? Oh, fuck no, I'm not shouting you out. This guy's bugging. You should be banned, motherfucker, with that creepy-ass name. I fist little kids. What? Your mom raised a shitbag. This guy's bugging, and you could leave my live. But where was I? You know what I mean? You're going to get into these battles of who's going to be the man and who's going to play what roles. In this generation of men, even men that wasn't raised by men and raised by women, we're now in a space where we're taking this fucking shit back, bro. We're the new generation of men that's saying, yo, I got you, but you got to let me be there for you. You got to allow me to be the man that you've been saying that you want. You got to allow me. You got to move out of my way so I can do this. If not, guess what? We just going to keep doing this. We're going to keep banging heads. We're going to keep bumping heads. You know what I mean? And there is no peace in that. There is no relationship in that because it's just turmoil. So this generation of women, I think the first thing y'all got to realize, especially if y'all want something that's going to be everlasting, something that you can appreciate, be proud of, and leave behind for your kids that you modeled for them, you have to let men lead. This isn't a generation of men from 30, 40 years ago. This is a whole new regime of man. This is a whole, and I'm not talking about that shit you see on CNN or Fox News. Those ain't men. Those ain't men. Those are, I don't know what the fuck they are, but I can tell you that I'm a man and they ain't me. You know what I'm saying? Real men don't handle business like that. So don't get it confused. Don't get it confused of what you see on social media or the news for what you're dealing with in the physical reality. There's real men out here that want to be a real man for a woman, and you got to give them the opportunity. You got to give them the space, and you got to be willing to follow. You know what I'm saying? Women are so used to being independent. There's a whole culture of women. There's a whole culture right now talking about, I don't need no man, fuck niggas. You know what I mean? Last year was hot girl summer. All this shit is throwing off what people actually are looking for. You know what I'm saying? That shit sound good, but you're not going to be 28 and fly forever. You're going to be 45 and you're going to be getting a sag. You know what I'm saying? You're going to be 50 and you know what I mean? My uncle, I love this man to death, but he spent his entire childhood and teen years and 20 and 30, 40 years old just running through women, and now he's in his mid-40s and he's looking for love and he's having a hard time. What do you think is going to happen as a woman? It's going to be the pool is going to be even fucking smaller to find a good man that can love and appreciate you by the time you're 45 years old. Understand that you ain't going to be 25, 28 years old and fly forever. So you got to understand what you really want, and you got to start aligning those goals. Axel, get your ass off me, bro. Really? My wife is over here showing me her Jerry beads. Jerry, you remember Jerry beads? All right, stop distracting me because you're getting me off topic, and this is some real shit I'm addressing. So this conversation was being led into come on, you being distracted right now. Come and enjoy the show or walk downstairs or something. All right, so where was I? I actually forgot where I was. See, you're fucking me up, bro. You're fucking me up. You're supposed to be downstairs. Listen, you know what I can't stand when my wife's supposed to be downstairs doing fucking homework and she's up here messing up my whole feng shui. I love you, so thank you for the support. But
I actually have the semester in the bag.
She has a semester in the bag. All right. Congratulations! Big shout out to my wife. She finished her what semester is this? How many more semesters you got? One, right? 1, 2. She got two. I thought it was one. Whatever. All right, so back to what I was saying. This generation of women, you guys got to realize that you no longer have to play the man and the woman role. Let these young men lead. Let these men lead. And make sure that you're picking the right person to follow. You know what I mean? We're going to get into that. So this conversation started off like that. And that was my say. Let a man lead. You got to give him the opportunity. You don't got to hold all the weight anymore. You not your mom. You not your grandmother. You not this generation of women. You know what I mean? If you feel like you got something good, you got to trust in your judgment, and you got to let that man lead. And she goes, well, these guys, they want things that a wife, like the perks of having a wife, but there ain't no ring on his finger. And I totally get that. I understand you don't want to be doing all the things. You don't want to be, hey, whoever just wrote that. You don't want to be doing all the things that women who are wives are supposed to be doing. I understand that. I get that. But I got a question for all you women who that's your sentiment of like, I'm not doing shit until you put a ring on it. How is he supposed to know you're worthy of a ring if you're not doing these things before the ring comes about? How am I gonna, like, if I give you a ring, how am I sure that you're gonna do these things once you get this ring? You know what I mean? This is also part of the generation. I mean, this generation is the generation that loves to get divorced. We all got an escape route, and everybody takes it. You know what I'm saying? One of the arguments from the girl at the job, she said, 80% of divorcees from this generation are the women. You know? And not only that, the laws haven't really changed in favor of who gets what when this shit is over. The women are still winning at a crazy high rate. Are you a feminist or support masculinity? I am not a feminist, but I support feminists and I support masculinity. There you go. But shit, that question threw me off. Okay, so yeah, she's saying 80% of women are the ones that are filing for divorces. So I get from a man's perspective is the reservation of I got to make sure she's actually going to do the things that I expect from my wife, because if I do this and it doesn't work out, she's taking everything. Whether we earned it together or I came in with it, she's taking it. You know what I mean? So men also kind of have to be walking on eggshells in that aspect. So you can't wait. You don't have the luxury, men or women, we don't have the luxury to wait until we got a ring to do the things that a husband or wife does. If this is the person that you can see the rest of your life with, you need to be doing those things now so they know what type of time you're on, so they know that they can count on you, so they know that you are going to be the person that can stand by them along this long-ass journey we call life. I'm not trying to wait till I hand it over, I say my vows, and now we're in a legally binding contract for you to start doing shit, because too many people get a ring and then stop doing things. We see that shit every day. Things change when women get a ring. Things change when men are married. They stop doing the things they used to do, and I'm guilty of it too. I used to go all out for anniversaries, and I don't do those things anymore. They take a lot of fucking energy now, and I realized I was going above and beyond until my wife one year said, you know, I grew accustomed to you doing these things, and now that you don't do these things, it makes me feel like you're not as invested. You don't care as much, and it's not that at all. But it took for her to say that to me to recognize that, shit, I have stopped doing things that I used to do, you know, and that's not okay either. But I also got a person by my side that's not going to leave just because things aren't the way they used to be. Things are supposed to grow. Things are supposed to evolve. Things are supposed to change. And she understands that. And that's why she's sitting right the fuck here. You know what I mean? Because
but
it's not.
Communicate that.
But yeah, I address that. We communicate. We talk. We even when we can't talk, we write, we text message. If we can't text message, we leave notes for each other. We do all type of shit to keep all communication lines open, because once we stop doing this and start doing this shit really is over. I promise you. It don't matter how long y'all been together, how much wealth y'all built, how many kids y'all got. The moment y'all stop talking to each other and communicating what the real issues are, it's over. So you can't wait. You can't wait to start doing these things when you're married. And I understand, I don't want to be doing these things for a person that I'm not going to marry. What if I do all these things for a person and they don't want to marry me?
You're not supposed to do everything.
You're not supposed to do everything. Hold on. This is a solo podcast. I'm the only. No. I'm the only dope individual. If you wanna have this conversation.
I'm doper than you.
Oh Lord, excuse me. She's being a nuisance right now. Somebody help! Call the police! All right, get out of the way.
I gotta be annoying today to get attention.
We're gonna handle this. We're gonna handle this after the fucking show.
You know what he
No. Because I only got 30 minutes. So cut the shit. Cut the shit. All right. So yeah, you can't wait until a ring comes into play to start wanting to do the things that you're ultimately okay with doing. Show this person that you are worthy of spending the rest of their lives with. Show this person that you are committed to them. Show this person that you are going to do the things that they deem necessary to maintain a level of happiness and contentment and support in their lives. You know what I mean? This is a lifelong commitment. This shit ain't 10 years down the line and we get to reevaluate, 20, 30 years down the line and we get to reevaluate. This is a lifelong commitment you're signing up for. So you got to showcase the things that you are capable of and the things you are going to do and willing to do as a partner to ensure, to give your partner some sense of security that, hey, I'm making the right fucking move by signing my life over to you. By etching in stone a legally binding contract that I am going to be here for you through sickness and health, through fucking hell and high water. I'm going to be here and I got you. You know what I'm saying? You can't wait until a ring comes into play. You can't. So then that segmented off into men. And this also circles back to the first part of the generation of today's generation of women. And men, we're also part of this. We also gotta be doing the things that we're supposed to be doing as men. Now, I know our sex drive is a hell of a lot crazier than most women, but that's not an excuse for us to run around. You know what I mean? You want to fuck around, go find a woman who's okay with having a relationship with multiple people, or go find a fucking swinger. You know what I mean? Don't be doing good girls wrong because you not ready to give up your whole phase, but you realize you got a good one. Then that leaves people that are trying to find a good woman to have to pick up your baggage and help rebuild this woman because you was doing the wrong shit. And I'm saying that from a man who has fucked up and has learned to openly communicate and not lie to my woman just because it's going to hurt her feelings. At the end of the day, she's going to have a lot more respect for you if you keep it 100% real. She might not like shit you say. She might walk right the fuck out the door. But the one thing she could never say about you is that you's a fraud-ass person. That you're not a man, that you're not willing to stand on the things that you say, that you believe in. She'll never be able to say that because you kept it real. And shit, she might even spend a block a couple years later after you done fucked all the people that you felt like you needed to fuck because she knows that you kept it real with her. Women are dead serious when they say, all I want you to do is keep it real. And yes, they're going to fucking react all crazy. They're women. They run on emotions. They're emotional creatures. We're logical creatures. They run on emotion. They're going to lose their fucking shit. But I'll tell you this much. If I found out my wife was fucking with another dude, guess what? I'm going to lose my fucking shit. And I have every right to. Because that sense of security that I had built up with you has now been fractured. I don't know if anything you're going to say from this point in time is going to be honest. I don't know if it's going to be true. Are you really going to the grocery store? I don't know. So that's what you're jeopardizing when you're going out there and you're doing your chick wrong and you know you got a good one. And a lot of us are guilty of that. Where you're going out there and you're fucking up just simply because you're not man enough to stand on what you want in that moment in time. Especially the young dudes, the ones that are 22, 25, especially y'all. You know what I mean? Because I understand these women are only getting finer and finer, and they're only becoming more and more accessible. But if you realize you got a good one, you either got to let it go so you can go be for the streets, or you got to be a man and you got to stand on that because you realize that you do have a good one. A lot of these bitches are birds. I promise you. Chirp, chirp. A lot of them are fucking birds. The women will tell you they're birds. And women know women. They're all fucking birds. So realize that shit. Realize the fact that you got a good woman and realize that I got a good woman. I got somebody that I know will be by my side and hold me down. Respect that. Value that. Stick with it. Because trust me, there's not too many people that are going to show up for you. There's not. I got a whole bunch of friends. But the moment I got to do something, these niggas are unavailable. And that's no slight to them. But the one person I know I can always count on is my wife. And it's never a question in doubt. Never a question in doubt. So when you got a good one, value that shit. And stop scarring these women. Stop treating these women like they just like they toys. You know what I mean? As soon as the excitement's done, I'm off to the next one. This ain't Toy Story, bro. You can't just drop Woody and go to Buzz. It's not happening. It's not how it works. So value that. And then the other thing, this is for my fellas. Make sure that when you're ready to take that step, that you are 100% invested. Because as I said to the women, you are signing up for a lifelong commitment. And even though we are allowed to divorce each other, that's not an excuse. That's not an excuse. When I got married, I didn't do it at that very moment in time, but I did it a year later. I took divorce off the table. Another thing I stopped doing very early in our relationship was leaving the house whenever we had a fight. These are things that we as men have to start to do if we want something that's actually going to last and hold some fucking weight. And that's going to be valued the way we want it to be valued. You know what I mean? These relationships, our marriages, like our children. You know what I mean? They take nurturing, they take communication, they take growth, they take hardship. But it all comes to a point where it gets to meet. I'm confused. I just got a text message that confused me, that threw me off. We'll address that later. But yeah, we have to do our part as men and make sure that we're prepared for what we're signing up for. And have open communication with these women. You know what I mean? Listen, this generation of women are coming from people that didn't rely on men, that didn't have men in their corner to help support them. So these women only know how to take care of themselves. They may not know how to take care of a man. But if you realize you got somebody that's loyal and that's down to earth and that's going to be there for you, they can learn. But it takes for you to tell them what you need, just as they tell us what they need from us. Open communication. So I'm going to leave y'all with this. All hope is not dead for love. All hope is not dead for love. There's a lot of good people out there. There's a lot of people. I love you too. There's a lot of people that's looking for the same thing as you. But you got to be ready for that shit. Don't sign up for anything you're not ready to jump headfirst in and swim across the ocean for. Because these women are looking for long-term commitments. They grow up 4, 5, 6 years old watching nothing but princesses trying to find true love. That shit does something to a person, regardless of whether you believe it or not. I'm looking for true love's first kiss. That shit's real. That's what they're looking for. They're looking for a knight in shining armor. But women, when you think you found it, you got to also give him the opportunity to be that knight in shining armor. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Drop any comments. Make sure you follow Dope Individuals Podcast on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe. Follow me on Spotify, Apple, Google Podcasts. Follow me on Instagram, Dope Individuals Pod. Follow me here, Dope Individuals Pod. Yo, thank you guys. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. Shoot for the moon. If you miss, you still amongst the stars. Peace.
I've been on my grind just to live it out. Say what's on your mind just to hear it loud. Everybody knows me, really that's the old me. Going through some changes right here and now. I've been on my grind just to live it out. Say what's on your mind just to hear it loud. Everybody knows me, really that's the old me. Going through some changes right here and now. I've been on my grind just to live